Hello everybody, welcome back to Come Block Home, and this is in fact the final Day 0 stream, because tomorrow we actually start Day 1, so yay for that. And let me see, I am currently in F1 mode, so that you can't actually see any of my HUD, including my hand, because it's a mild spoiler. But if you've been watching my Tumblr, then you'll know that we actually have a skin now. We have the Feylying skin, most of which was done by Tumblr user Sweden, or in the name of Svariga. I'm not 100% certain what their usual handle is, but there we are. Skies, hey, welcome back for the 12th month. A year! And it is currently midnight, I think, possibly just passing towards dawn. And things are looking quite nice around here, I think. We've got a pretty good handle on our build here, I think. I think it's coming along pretty nicely. There is more or less just one thing that we need to do, and that is to make the actual, like, lift shaft, I guess we'd call it, look a dang sight better than it currently does, which is not very good, I have to say. But, you know, we don't need it to be perfect. We just need it to actually, like, look capable of doing anything with. And obviously we want to continue to avoid using blocks and such that are seriously high power or actually creative mode, because that's I wouldn't say that Feylying is necessarily like a low power individual, but I prefer not to be cheaty before we've even actually begun. So yeah. But otherwise, it's been a fairly chill day for me so far. Are you allowed to ask how tall Feylying is? The normal, usual, a standard mortal's height. Nothing else to like be considered at all, you know. But let me see. What are we gonna start with? I guess we're gonna start with this gravel, because this gravel is very annoying. You know, how tall are mortals usually? Okay, just get rid of that to start with. Bit more there. Do I want to get rid of this slot as well? I think so. And then we'll be decorating the walls a bit here so that this place looks a mite bit better. And also a mite bit more dilapidated. Just to make it fairly clear that maybe Feylying hasn't been awake for a while. Would it be fair to say they could change that height if they so wanted to? They don't have the shape changer tag. So, at least as far as various oddities is concerned, they are not a shape changer. Few Fey are, actually, surprisingly enough. You'd think it'd be a common thing, but no, not really. Best type for models is 5.3 what? 5.3 what, guys? Feet? Meters? What exactly do you mean there? Okay, now, as I understand it, we might have... Yes, from Quark the Trowel. This is handy because if you use this and right-click, it will place a random block from your hotbar, which allows us to do some very nice mixing without having to go through all of the trouble that we did previously with using the structure blocks. Only helpful whilst you're building the structure, but nonetheless helpful. And I'm just gonna remember to unmute myself in the Discord there, just in case anybody wants to come play as well. We do have, like, 3 different streaming voice channels in the Discord, just in case anybody wants to, like, get together and gab, that kind of thing. Where does this go, if at all, anywhere? Specifically, does this hit the surface? That's my important question. Sort of yes, no. Let's fix that, shall we? Also, hey, Lucian. I saw your video today. It was nice. I believe it actually uses this, at the very least, the same pack. I don't know if it uses the same version, but looked nice. Don't worry, for once, if it's dark for you there, it's dark for me as well. Okay. So, what do we want this shaft to look like? I feel like the wood makes a lot of sense. So let's try and grab some of that. Bits of spruce, bits of mossy, I think, as well. I think we definitely want to get some glittering in here. And let's see how this goes. So it's not quite as... Oh, I forgot there's dirt in my bar as well. Okay, there. It's not quite as mixed as I might have preferred, I think. I wonder if we can change the incidences of things by just including more of them. Like if we use the spaces in our hotbar as an actual kind of like density chart. But yeah, that is going to be very handy. 1.3.1 beta. I believe this is 1.40 beta. But okay, so if I grab some more witch hazel... Oh, actually, I can just hop out here and get more of the woods that we used here. So we had spruce, we also had ebony. And... was there another one? Witch hazel... swear there was another one. I might just be forgetting things. I'm also impressed that that skeleton managed to be over here, considering that this is a fairly well-lit area, and we made certain of that. Okay, yeah, no, I think that's all of the types. We could maybe mix in a, some pumpkins. That's an idea. Okay, so we've got 8 slots, and we want mossy living wood, spruce, and that. Whatever we put here will probably determine what the most populous ones are. I'm gonna say we stick with the mossy living wood, the spruce, and the witch hazel. There. Okay, so assuming that this works as I understand it to potentially maybe be, and we should see less of the glimmering. Because we want it to be there, we want this to be lit, we just don't want it to be that overwhelming. With your own mod editions, ooh, neat. I also have a mod edition to here, but it's just a mod called Borderless. And that is purely so that I can access the chat for moderation purposes without, the game just, like, completely minimizing. I don't think randomness is entirely doing us too many favors, but we can fix that up later. That does look like the glimmering is less common though, so that's good. Let me just plonk that there, because I'd like to fill in a little couple bits here. With just dirt in the back there. There. You added command cam. Ooh. I think we have free cam? I'm not 100%. I must have misplaced that. That's interesting. I could have sworn I placed that in the right place, but evidently not. Okay. So we just build this down, get it to look a little gnarled around the edges, make it seem like either the tree trunk goes very far down, or something else is going on. And that is our main job for today, ahead of day 1 tomorrow, which my stream for which at least will be at 6 PM British Standard Time. Or British Summer Time, to be exact. Hey, Anafari. How you doing? Okay. Yeah, I think the trowel here is doing us a hand, but I don't know if it's getting us quite the right mix. Or maybe we need to change around what our palette is on the hotbar here. Hello. Bunch of new names that I don't recognize. And being in the LGBT tag, that naturally fills me with a bit of dread. No offense. See, I think Dave's planning on doing some streaming tomorrow as well. You are simply looking. Good to know. Kind of does help to watch when it's a live stream, that's kind of the point of it. Okay, so once the day 1 starts, I will be in survival mode. I will be starting from Heckle. The exception being my types and my elemency, which you can see on the HUD in the far left there. Okay, so that's all the dirt. How's that shaping up? Maybe still a bit too chaotic. Maybe we should have gone with some of the... maybe we should have focused more on like the ebony. You can see where the witch hazel blends with the ebony though, that's nice. I think we're good. I think we're good. Just trying to blend essentially the top here with the tree into the underground area. And yes, it has been noted that I do a lot of underground bases, but I made a very nice above ground tree, and I'd rather not build inside of the tree, or otherwise destroy the tree to build base, so... Such is the way of things. Makes you really happy that Feilang is an Iron Misting. I expect at least one meta post about this. Okay. I look forward to your fan content. I think I've been described before as being, like, the chillest person ever when it comes to fan content. Disarmingly so. Like, I have read some fanfic about me over the years, let me tell you. Some very well-written fanfic at that. Zeno! You made it to this one? Well, hopefully you make it to the next one. Tomorrow is somewhat of an important date. After all. But I have it from... we have a couple of updates that are getting shoved out more or less specifically for us on a couple of mods. And I have it on authority from Dave that the devs of those mods are very excited for us. And I am mildly terrified, not gonna lie. Because basically nobody else in the group is actually riding on this being a big success kind of thing up until that. Like I was, but I have medical, I have like meds to pay for, so of course I was. Nope, not there. There. Thank you muchly. Okay, let's just greeble a little bit here. So that our trunk looks like it's actually growing down here, and potentially like just these are opportunistic kind of caves. And here we get to the roots of Feilang's issues. Their mother. I'm just kidding. Fae don't have mothers. Not in the classical sense, anyways. We do have a little bit of glimmering here. But the glimmering will appear in its own dang time. Which is kind of the point of using the trowel. Ah, there we go. One more glimmering, place more blocks. Okay. Good, good. I'm liking the looks of this. I do think this needs to be not quite as straight an edge. Okay, right. Here's the question. We have 3 distinct layers on this lift. Do we think that this would stop at the first? Or the second? How low down do we think it should go? Because that already looks pretty good to me. There's one feline art that I haven't seen yet and you're just waiting. Oh? 100% certain how much of that grinding noise was music versus game. Possibly my phone, who knows? Being the first to lose chicken on livestream. The whole like lying slash YouTuber chicken, I think it is, game is entertaining to me just because I have absolutely no stake in it. Nope, there, thank you. Okay. Okay, that's shaping up quite nicely. Might be a little on the side of too much glimmer, but I would probably prefer to have more than that. Promise it's not something personal or rude. I believe I have moderators in chat if it is, so ask away. Okay, so let's see how this looks when going down. Oh, that is nice. Nice even lighting, more or less, because it's random, so it works out to be that. So that we should be able. Let's kind of have like it decline going down, but still actually be present. I think, particularly because that'll mean we actually have lighting, which is kind of a handy thing to have in a base. Did I ever work with the Oxcast on YouTube playing Minecraft? Boy, is that a saga. I've worked alongside the Ox, I guess I'd say. It would be a very big stretch to say I've ever worked with the Ox. But short answer, kinda. Longer answer, they owe me a lot. Let me see, I was part of Chaosville. And Chaosville included a bunch of people, including I think they're both ex-Yorks at this point. Dave Chaos and Will Strife, and then I did a bunch of stuff for, let's see, Flux Buddies. I worked on the Big Reactors video for Yoga Labs. One of them, who's no longer with the company, completely stole a series idea from me and did it really badly, which I will never let him live down. Like, whole cloth, he got showed my videos and then just started doing it. Jaffa Factory? I did also work on the Jaffa Factory, yes, with a bunch of people for that. You remember the Waystone? Yeah. There's a point in that series, or like Jaffa Factory Returns, Reloaded, I can't recall, where they find a like witch's circle, like of runes on a mountain nearby, and it's my fault that it was there. Remember Chaosville? In whichever series you did Evil Dead themed builds, that was Chaosville. Yes, let's see, Chaosville Season 2 started with a set build of the Evil Dead cabin in the woods, and then onto a well inspired by The Ring. Which then led into my next series after that, which was Witch in the Woods, and boy, have things not slowed down since then. A lot of people were in Chaosville, I say knowing nothing about it. Yeah. I have no idea what language that is, but hi, Monsieur Vegan. I'm sorry, I don't speak French. Love my part of the series? Oh, thank you very much. I'm constantly amazed whenever anyone remembers it existed. Lord knows I do not have the energy that I did back then to make content. Back in Chaosville, I was making a video a day. I don't know how I did that. I guess that would explain my my lackluster university performance to some degree. Oh. Oh, I know. I've heard about you guys. There was a point in one of the previous Day Zero streams where I was like building, I think, the door or something, and Dave was getting hacked up by one of these guys. I was about to say you don't look so tough, but you are actually quite Chad. Just leave you be, I guess. Stream with the apple cult? Yeah. Missed your episodes and always wonder what happened to you. Answer, heck all, I'm still here. The only thing that has changed more or less is how many spoons I have available on a given day. Because I am heavily neurodivergent, so what I can do is kind of declined. Still kicking? Yep, not alive, but still kicking. It's a nervous response. Besides us die-hard fans, having joined the fandom at the end of Yokai / Night of Fangs, then went back and watched everything. Oh yeah. My backlog gets quite a bit of rewatches. I think Strivers this has a similar experience. Okay, this is looking like quite the hole here, isn't it? I'm liking it. I kind of feel like I should put some like pixie houses in here somewhere. Just the odd pixie house. Yeah, most of the Chaosville crew doesn't do content much anymore, or at the very least has completely sworn off doing Minecraft content, which is fair. Everybody has different experiences on YouTube. And some experiences that are disturbingly alike, but nonetheless. Pixie steal your stuff? Oh, fair point. Okay, I feel like I need some kind of tendril going down here. Know most of my lying lore from Xeno, but you watched Sunless from Kieran's perspective and very recently watched The Return / The Haunting. Ooh. The Haunting took about 3 years to finish for a variety of reasons. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. The final product is a little bit of a mess, but better that than have it take 5 years. So I'm okay with that. Been for a lot lately, and I always help back with that, as I'm sure it will now. That's good to know. This is a rough time, and if I can help people get through it in some fashion, then grand. Okay, maybe, and a little more. Misty, are you just sinking like your entire stimulus check into like giving people subs to my channel or something? Purely out of curiosity. Don't stop, just out of curiosity. Yeah, enjoy your little hat there, Steph. Don't have a stimulus check, this is all birthday money. Right, yes, it was your birthday recently, wasn't it? Dusty's getting old. Than before. Still not really as old as me, but a few people are. Okay, let's try and extend this. Can I? Yes. Phew. I was wondering if I could. There we go. In order to do that without the gravel moving, you have to place blocks faster than the server can realize that you've removed them. Okay. How are we thinking this is looking? A bit of a mess, but... Oh, hats all the time. Dusty sat down and said, I will make so many people have hats. Okay, I think that's looking good. Let's see that from the perspective of actually writing this whole thing down. Okay, so... Oh, hi there. Oh. Forgot your mod was still here. I have my own much nicer and cuter proprietary rats, thank you very much. Get out. Okay, good. We essentially want a degree of, like, visible nature, as it were, at every step going through. I think that's pretty good. Just add a couple more there. Yeah. Let's see if we can't. Just lead this down a bit. Hi there. Oh, the bird's still here. There we go. Spot a light. So there's all the wiring that makes this lift work. You will gladly take the rat off my hands? I mean, you're not on the server, so that'd be impressive. I think that will stop you. Yeah, I think it will. I think that will do a very good job at stopping you, Dusty. In fact. Okay. Just gonna be recording one day and you're just there, 20 rats in hand. I really hope not. Considering how much I have kind of sold this on being a private server. Ah. I'm still not 100% certain if there's anyone else I can name as being on it currently. I'll definitely be asking, like, after this stream, because I feel like day one is maybe the time when people can be like considered to be like beyond embargo on that, but best to know before I ask. Best to know before I like spill beans and such. Okay, let's hold that away. Get some finds of sorts, I think. Any? Oh, that sounds nice, but I don't know how hard that is to come by. That's from better end, so that's probably not a good option. Those two are from the Never, I know that. So what does this look like? That feels like it's from the end, if I had to guess, and it is dripping something purple. This feels unpleasant. I don't appear to have any negative side effects from walking through it, but it is very slow. Pass on the lament vine, I think. Does it slowly eat through the floor? I don't think it's gonna eat through the hole. I think we're good. But I am gonna add some vines to here. Specifically the parts where this doesn't pass. Although actually, I think since it only stops at the levels, I should actually be able to put stuff like right there. Let's find out. Yeah, I totally can. Nice. As long as I don't put it at like that level, I think it is, then yeah, as long as I don't put it at about the level of the actual sensor, then we can just have vines all over the shopping. Nice. Don't like that dripping, that was way too tentacly. I mean, I definitely have a history with some tentacles. Like I say, I've read some fanfic. This should hopefully let us actually get a bit of this meshed in a bit better. Nice. I might have to. I'm trying to remember. Does Quark have a way to actually stop vines from growing? I don't remember. I feel like that's a thing I read once, but I don't quite remember. Let me quickly look that up, actually. Because I think I've read that in Quark, but I can't remember. But if so, then I don't have to worry about all of this being just overgrown in a matter of days. Let's see, vine. Something like burning it with like a flint and steel or something. Yes, burn vine tips. The tip of a vine can now be burnt with a flint and steel. When you do so, the vine will no longer be able to grow. Okay. So we just plant all of that, let it grow to a let it grow a little bit, at least. for aesthetics, and then we just burn the whole thing, essentially. Have I been changing the clock emote in my status? Yes, yes I have. Who are you talking to, Dusty? Actually, that point is probably going to get broken, but it'll be fine for now. Okay, so I just... Yep. Now if I wonder what happens if I burn one that isn't the exact bottom. It does that. Okay, that's... Also, yeah, don't burn the tree down. I should be fine. But I guess we'll find out. Oh, that did not go well. Okay. Didn't like that, did it? Why did it just vanish there? Okay. Okay, and there, I guess. And that. There. I do like that it gives it a little bit more variation in height. That's good to see. There's definitely going to be some parts of this that are going to be still growing, but that's better than all of it. Okay, let's ride this back up the top. Feel bad if the tree burnt down, but you'd also laugh so hard. I mean, understandable. We should hear some, like, block breaking if it actually does remove anything. Like that. But that's fine. Okay. Very good, very good. Do I think that's all of it? Some nice caves under here, actually. Quite a lot of ores, very few of which I actually recognize. Oh. Hello. Oh, huh. Inferior mimics, too. Ah, okay. I say inferior because mine are undetectable when they're not in, like, they're out and about, jumping and hopping sounds kind of, form. Like that the elevator doesn't break the vines it passes. Technically speaking, I think as long as it's not like a full block, it will go through anything. So that's pretty sweet. But yeah, we got ourselves a nice looking, shaft here. Oh yeah, it's just occurred to me that if you haven't seen my stuff since, like, the Chaosville era, then, there's probably one or two things on screen right now that you're a little confused about. Possibly exactly two things that you're quite confused about. Okay, let's clear my inventory. I was hoping to have, I was hoping to have the various equipment mod out by now, so that we actually had it for day one, but unfortunately, getting dependencies to work in Forge is a massive pain in the butt, apparently, despite it being obviously, like, one of the most common things that are used. So I haven't been able to do that, but it does actually include the Crown of the Archfey, which when I finally get it working, will replace the piece on the skin. Not unlike how the witch's skin has, no actual shoes. Just as a note. I don't know what time it is. I should put a clock up here, shouldn't I? Item frame, clock. Is there like an invisible item frame I could use, or can I just... do I have to just modify the data? Glowing glass item frame and glass item frame. Guessing those are what I'm looking for. Yes, yes it is. Okay, perfect. I wonder if I can literally put it on the door. It's an entity, it's not a block. So I don't think it'll stay, but yeah, we can find out. Like if I'm pointing here, it does give me that, but that's looking at an entity, I think. I don't have an item, I don't have like a thing. Yeah, I guess we'll find out. Otherwise, let's just plonk it there. Okay. If you're not familiar with this thing, this door opens at auspicious moments of the day for a brief period. And basically, it opens at noon, midnight, sunset, and sunrise. Those are the 4 times of day that this door opens. And after a short period, it closes again. So you have to come at significant points of day day only. Otherwise, it's just a tree. Now I am just pleasantly waiting to see if this is actually going to stay. And the music's getting very, very, grandiose for this, apparently. Would have to glue it. If it's a block, if it's an entity, I'm not so sure. I'm presuming, judging by down here, that it's an entity, because all item frames are, but if it's glowing, I don't know. I also keep thinking I should maybe put in a button, like an override button to make sure the door is actually open at a given point in time, but that gets a little bit more complicated. And by a little, I mean a lot. Approaching Nirvana. Now there's a blast from the past. A blast from the Minecraft YouTuber past anyways. Override buttons are for the weak of hearts. Yes, and the impure of heart can't open the door anyways. It's like the Nimbus from Dragon Ball. We should be seeing this door close. It's only open for about an hour each time. Hour or 2 in-game. Trust the clockwork? Uh-huh. Well, there I don't have a risque Twitch moment. Okay, there we go. I do love this top, but it does not look good with a bra, so here I am. Okay, did not stick. Now we know. Okay, but now we also happen to have an item frame up here, so yay. Nope. There we go. So there we are. That is our tree. Our not so humble tree. Okay, night, Lucian. Have a good sleep. Wonder if I should do a bit more blending. Like, our tree more or less stops at the edges of the ruins. Is that done and dusted? Ah, unless I can think of something else to put into it. Plus, I don't want to go too overboard. Like for days, like for hey, here's my my day 1 and I've just got, like, every possible thing I could maybe, like, remotely useful. I have a neighbor at the south. I have a southern neighbor. Please may it not be that one guy who, for whatever reason, his accent makes me turn into a violent, aggressive northerner. I see bees. It's Wilbur. Please no. Oh, we have a graveyard, apparently. Which... This brings a whole new meaning to the term 6 feet under. Just gonna leave that alone. Let's see... Spooky skull? Yeah. Roughly south you saw a dragon. Well, I haven't spotted anything, depending on how far you mean. Egg? Oh no, believe me, I'm long past the egg stage. Log on later and show. Okay. One thing I definitely... I don't remember adding you to this. Dear lord, man, I thought you'd given up on YouTube. I thought you had, like, surgery and stuff. Huh. What I mean, the egg stage? Okay, in the trans community, to be an egg is to be, like, before you've realized you're trans, and come out accordingly. It's occasionally also it's occasionally also used to mean, a trans person in denial. Which I don't know if I'd say I was in denial, but I have only recently, like, come around to the notion that I'm trans. Not quite the case. Not explains a couple of things. Yeah, it's not quite the, I'm still somewhat hesitant because whenever someone says trans, there's a very specific model that everybody else tends to have, unless they're pretty deep into, like, the trans, like, community and, like, knowledge base and such. But yeah, I've come to the begrudging conclusion that yeah, more of my experience is inside of the trans experience than out. So, yep. Okay, is there anything else around here that we might be curious to know before day one? Well, besides this, I guess. Chewie, could you cool it a little bit? Oh, and these guys. Hi there. Well, no vampires here, no siree. Oh, I forgot about this part. Okay, so because we've been loading this chunk... You doing alright there? Because we've been loading this chunk for so long, there's a mod in the pack that makes sugarcane grow to ludicrous height. Just wow. Should I abbreviate this? Should I truncate this sugarcane? Just so it's not well, I guess the tree kind of gives away that I've been active in this area for a bit, but yeah. It's fine, it's magical fey forests. Like, what is the actual name of this? I forget. Weeping Witch. Yeah, it's a magical fey forest. Oh, and it's right next to the Black Forest. Willkommen aus die Schwarzwald. What games is this? This is Minecraft running the Unlikely Reunion mod pack that you can find on Kuro. Hello, sir. You're not a dragon. Okay, there's just a giant and their pixie friend apparently here. Okay. I'll come back later, sir, when I'm mortal, mostly, but, you know, ideally very heavily armed. But okay, oh, right, yes, I forgot these guys were here. Yeah, when I said I was gonna, like, thinking of putting them inside, putting one of these inside of the trunk. Be nice, but I don't think they have any, like, connecting, so I think they would just be very clearly an indent inside. Just a tiny log inside of a big log. Pixie hobbles. It's a very nice weapon, actually. Very cute models. I do like them. Forgot those existed. I mean, you probably don't want to be near them too much. But they do appear to have a little bit of a hell problem. Oh, their portal's fallen over. How tragic. Do I look or do I leave it till later? Let's leave that for later. Feels like there's lore to this village being alongside a ruined Never portal. Yeah. And a lot of pixies as well. Oh boy. You're a doggo, alright. Feral wolf. I'm pretty sure that's not what an untamed wolf looks like. Hi there. You're a little over-modeled for my, like, tastes, but you do look nice. You are probably stuck on top of here, though. You can tame those? I'd hope so. Feral would imply there's a non-feral version. Let me see, oh, more pixies. Lots of pixies here. It's weird, it's almost like this is a kind of fey realm. Okay, I don't think I'm seeing any more details that we might need to know before we get fully started. Here we are. As long as we can see above the tree line, we're never losing our house. That's for sure. Okay. Oh, and the door's open. So, this is Lost Time. Our home. And that is a global waypoint, you might have noticed, which means that basically everybody can come here. Whether it's a particularly wise idea for them to come here, who knows? Probably not, but they can. Oh, I do like how smooth Create is when it's moving around. It used to be, like, especially in vanilla, that if you had a moving structure, it was chunk, 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 or you were, like, glitched, like, a foot off the ground and, like, stuck looking perpetually in one direction until it actually stopped. But, whew. I like this. And if you're wondering how this works, these buttons basically set which direction the lift moves, and then sends a pulse to the thing that tells it should be moving. And then whenever it lines up one of these contacts, it sends another signal that tells it to stop moving. So essentially, we don't need to have floors that are the same distance apart. We don't need to have delicate timing circuitry or anything. It is just a matter of whenever it hits one of those, which is really nice. I could do a little bit more input validation, but it's fine. Yeah, I thought as much. I thought you might do that. Yeah, well. I can probably torch that, I think. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. It's a little weird there, but should be fine. And we've even got ourselves a little bit of a step down to this way. Nice. Okay, lying skin is so beautiful. Yeah, hang on. Let me hop back onto our lift. Just like the only thing we have here at the moment. So again, this was mostly done by a community member called In the Name of Sferigo, or Sweden, more commonly. They mostly, like, they did the entire skin, and then I retone a few bits, changed a few bits around, reorganized a few other bits. I believe that's bridge, yes. So I think the outfit is pretty much the same. I changed the hue on the golden jewelry parts. I added the, like, makeup on the face. I also separated the ponytail from the, like, back layer of the jacket, so the ponytail has the most depth now, which I like better, personally. But yeah, in terms of, like, pretty characters, this is very much on Sweden. Oh, we're gonna have such fun roaming around here. It's gonna be lovely. There's even a little bit of petrified tree down that way. You have the hair without the crown if you'd like to have that. I did also change the coloring of the crown, so I will handle that the coloring of the hair. So I will handle that myself. Thank you. But much obliged. Love this archfey? Yeah, you love this archfey, and they haven't even done anything yet. Except build this tree. Ha! So yeah, more or less, whenever there's like a 90-degree angle here, we should be able to open. So if it's flat line or vertical line, this door should be open. Nice! I'm really happy. I'm really happy with this. This is gonna be fun. Don't know when the first video will come out, because, as I've mentioned, as I've gotten older, I have fewer spoons to deal with on a given day. But also, the pandemic hasn't helped a whole ton with that. It hasn't helped a lot of people with that, really. But gonna be trying to make a nice little intro to that and get that out relatively swiftly. Probably not tomorrow. Almost definitely not tomorrow, dear lord. But don't go to anything they are enough. I mean, that's, I guess, they're a complex character. They're the archfey of memory and clockwork. Which, unless you're Charles Babbage, you might not see the relationship, but I can assure you there is one. Hence why they are probably going to be focusing on the create mod, which is what powers our door, what powers our lift here, all that. And it is utterly wonderful. I love it. In fact, I think I've gotten a few people on my Patreon server hooked on it as well. But, ooh, such wonderful stuffs. Such wonderful stuffs. I wonder if I can just hide a cuckoo clock in there somewhere. But yeah, they're gonna be working their create magic, and they're gonna be, there's a lot of interesting things that aren't really clockwork per se, but you can make with create. Like, for instance, our lift in there doesn't break the vines and such in between because it's a moving entity at that point. It doesn't exist at those intervening points, essentially. You can do a similar thing with minecart contraptions, so you can have an entire full thing that is just like mobile, essentially. You can have trains, you can have planes and automobiles and all sorts. What I would like to do is have a structure that's like different during the day to how it is at night in a drastic fashion, because especially when you have those minecart contraptions, they have full collision. So if there is a block that is part of a minecart contraption, it is still a solid object even when it's moving. So you can walk into it or like get hit by it, that kind of thing. You can get hit by our door, in fact, while it's moving. And what that means is that we can have a structure that is, by appearances, completely like solid and is regardless of which state it's in, just by overlaying that minecart contraption over it. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I love it. It's very smooth. You used to be able to get mods that could do motion that smoothly, like ages back, but at least in my experience, they were exclusively in Japanese, as was all of their documentation. And I think they were frequently core mods as well, which meant they weren't part of like Forge or Fabric or the like. So, not exactly the easiest things in the world to deal with, but it's great that we now have Create doing similar things for us here. Ugh. How low does this go? Let's see, we're currently at level 36. That way is the not good, terribly bad mimic. Oh, abandoned mineshaft. Huh. It's just like the first place I set up camp. 24... 13... Smallmouth bass. I'm a fake, so I don't really have anything special for breathing underwater. Though, if we were... I don't know that we're running the most recent version. Okay, that's just straight up bedrock. Okay. I don't see any lava, which was my kind of major concern. Could kind of do with a source of lava, but I'll... Sure, offense. The Mimix is doing his best. I mean, is he though? I knew he was a Mimic, like, without even walking up to him. For comparison, the Mimics from Various Oddities, which is my mod, actually turn into solid blocks. They turn into, like, Mimic chest blocks whenever they're, inert, as it were. Hi. Ah, okay, I am underneath my own lift, that's where I am. And as a consequence, they, unlike basically every other mob in this pack, don't display a name tag and a hit bar and everything when you glance even slightly in their direction. I might be completely lost. I'm not 100% certain how I get back here. Didn't say its best was any good. I mean, fair. Fair. There we are. I have contemplated adding circuitry and wiring so that when you hit, so that when you actually like hit a specific button, the lift will come to that level, if it's above or below it, that kind of thing. But that's a little bit more convoluted, because you would basically need to be able to turn off all of the intervening, like, contacts, so that the lift just didn't stop at those levels. But, easiest thing in the world, of course, would just be to add more of these things so that they so there's one of both at each level. So no matter what level you're at, you can call it to come down or go up, that kind of thing. Which would technically mean that any given level can control the entirety of the lift, no matter where it is, but... It's a one-person home, you know? It's roomy, but it is one person. Oh. Okay. That is basically all I had planned to accomplish today. So, are there any questions? I cannot promise any answers, but are there any questions? Oh yes, I've been taking today very easy because tomorrow is going to be quite stressful, but nonetheless. So I've just been lounging about and relaxing and doing heck all, more or less, but I did paint my nails. So they're looking nice. Does he know how to question? We should ask character questions. Is Archfey lying part of a court? They are not. They are an independent Fae. But if you were to mark them as being part of any court, they would probably be unseelie. If the door closes while you're stood in it, can you suffocate? No, because there's no blocks on either side, so consequently, you just get shoved one way or the other. You don't suffocate. How am I so sweet? Extremely high sugar diet. Like, no joke, I have a lot of sugar. It's about the only thing that keeps me going. More or less that and caffeine. Okay, welcome to Spawn, where most people end up dying for the first time because it's right next to a graveyard. So wraiths spawn in here and just heck everybody over while they're still loading in. Is there a time we should be prepared for tomorrow? 6 PM British Summer Time. Oh, is that another... Yeah. Yes, it is. It absolutely is. Got a lot of vampire hunters around. Don't know why it is exactly. There's just always a ton of vampires around. Well, vampire hunters around. You'd think that you'd think with all the vampire hunters around that there'd be vampires around, but you know, I've not seen any. A little weird, that. 1 PM EST, apparently. Vampires are a serious problem? Eh, it's fine. Point a torch at them and they go away. I think it's the fire. That's why they don't like torches being pointed at them. What are you? Oh, it's also a feral wolf. Okay, for a second I thought you were one of my goblins. Which would be weird, because you shouldn't be able to spawn over here, I think? Because the hunters are killing them? Yeah, but they can't be making a good wage. I'm actually going to set a waypoint over here, I think, just so I know where it is on the map. Okay, spawn. Comparatively, that's Dave, and over here is me. I don't know where anyone else is at the moment. They don't make any money, this is a hobby. Ugh. So many... Ew. Okay, we might have a rat problem. If anything. Oh, doors open just in time. Okay, any more questions? Because if not, then I should go make dinner and such. I know I will be streaming at 1 PM EST apparently. Tomorrow, I know Dave is planning to stream around the same time, so he'll probably catch us on the server at the same time. The 2 people that I have not as yet named will probably be named then, but who knows. But otherwise, Will and Tev, I think, are getting vaccinated tomorrow, so they will probably not be doing it at the same time, if that day at all. Lizzie, I don't know either. But, yeah. Ooh, many gift subs today, apparently. And most of them still from Dusty, but nonetheless. Let me check the rankings here. How is Dusty holding in the rankings? Dusty has gifted 2, and Vertigo has gifted 1 so far. Of course, it's so early. I forgot, it's the 2nd of the month, so the rankings have reset. Beauty contest between all of the lyings. Ooh. I don't even know how to judge who'd come first for that. We need to know the prettiest. I need to know the softest. The softest is easy. Let me see. Again, I don't know how soon the first video from me with this will come out, but the first stream is definitely tomorrow. Then I can have a nice little cinematic intro with, like, Archfey Lang waking up. Because the idea here is that Archfey Lang has been more or less dormant, and then something, capital S something, happened, and they're back to working, and they're a little off kilter to how they used to be, which, given that they're Fae, says a lot. But mostly I will be doing bonus streams covering, like, the grinding kind of stuff, like, let's go on a mining expedition, or let's travel to find this one thing, that kind of thing. Whereas the videos will be fairly close to my old content, if you're a fan of that. So we will mostly be doing lore, organically grown lore, as well as show and tell of how to do stuff in Create. So should be fun. Should be fun. Failing wakes up like I was in the middle of a nap. Organically grown. Yeah, but like no one has sat down and written lore like for this server. No one has sat down and like prescribed a plot or anything. It is entirely, we're just gonna play and see how we go. Which snakes into phase how stealing their stuff knocks something over and wakes them up? Am I gonna give this one a special voice like maid and witch? Probably closer to witch of the two. But we'll see. My normal speaking voice is not exactly much in the way of, like, being... It's not exactly much in the way of someone trying to sell you a contract or anything, so... Maybe a mortgage at top, at the most. Or an old beat-up car, possibly. That's probably more what my voice is for. Gonna be getting requested to do a Fae voice. Again, it's gonna be mostly like the witch. There is a property of the witch that has been shown time and time again that originates in Fae lying, but it is not their voice. Okay, I think, like, one more question, I think, and then I will be off for the evening. Thank you all for stopping by, though. Music got very, very dire and dramatic there, but oh well. Final question is the most important. Okay. No patrons and such cannot get access to Cumberlock Home Sub. Do they paint their nails? I mean, I don't see any fingers, but I feel like it's a given that Fae paint their nails. That seems like just... That seems to be, like, just perfectly on brand for Fae. I don't know that I've ever seen a Fae that didn't have, like, painted nails or something. The real question is how much, like, makeup do they go, like, through, given, like, their face looks like that. Like, where do they get their makeup? Hot topic? Why do I hear boss music? But let me see, there's like 2 people on the server that are probably going to be lurking a fair bit before they, like, just figuring their way out, before they start making actual full-blown content on stuff, whether it be streams or videos or whatever. Dave and I are going to be probably doing a fair bit on the server. Lizzie might stream occasionally, not 100%. Teb and Strife, I think, are also going to sort of, like, feel their way through it. I think they're currently still playing a whole ton of Valheim. Didn't register that as makeup at first, just thought they had markings on their face. I mean, could be both. I'm sure if you had that kind of makeup long enough to do that. So they're going to stream it soon? That's good to know. That's good to know. Apparently a few of the, like, devs for, like, allomancy and pedestals, I think was 2 of the ones that Dave mentioned, are really excited for this to go live tomorrow. I'll be honest, I am very... I have my fingers crossed a lot. I'm banking a lot on this because I have expensive medication to pay for. And I'm not exactly the most... the easiest, the most settled, the most, like, comfortable of economic situations to begin with. So, I very much want this to go very well. We'll see. But, other than that, hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you all tomorrow at 1 PM EST or 6 PM BST. About 3 hours earlier than this started, for reference. But, yeah. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll catch you all as ever next time. Yep.